When you think of North Korea, what comes to mind? A secretive, isolated nation, right? Well, today, we're going to pull back the curtain just a little and discover some truly astonishing and sometimes bizarre facts about the Democratic People's Republic of Korea. Stick around, because what you're about to hear will definitely surprise you. First up, let's talk about time. Did you know North Korea created its own time zone? In 2015, they set their clocks back 30 minutes to establish Pyongyang time, breaking away from the standard time zone they shared with South Korea and Japan. It was a symbolic move to mark the 70th anniversary of Korea's liberation from Japanese rule. However, in 2018, in a gesture of goodwill, they switched back to align with South Korea. Talk about a timely decision. Now, let's get into daily life. Imagine a world with only a handful of approved hairstyles. In North Korea, there's a state-sanctioned list of haircuts for men and women. There are reportedly around 15 styles for each. Unmarried women are encouraged to keep their hair shorter, while married women have a bit more variety. As for men, dyeing your hair is a big no-no, and styles mimicking Western trends are out of the question. Here's one for the basketball fans. Did you know North Korea has its own unique basketball rules? A slam dunk isn't worth 2 points, it's worth 3. And if you score a three-pointer without the ball touching the rim, you get 4 points. Even more strangely, if you miss a free throw, you lose a point. These rules definitely change the game, making for a very different kind of basketball experience. Let's switch gears to something a bit more monumental. The Rungrado 1st of May Stadium in Pyongyang is the largest stadium in the world by seating capacity. It can hold a staggering 150,000 people. To put that in perspective, that's almost double the capacity of Wembley Stadium in London. It's primarily used for the famous Arirang Mass Games, a spectacle of gymnastics and artistry involving over 100,000 performers. The scale is almost impossible to comprehend. Ever heard of a 3-generation punishment rule? It's a dark and widely reported aspect of North Korea's justice system. The concept is that if one person commits a serious political crime, their entire bloodline grandparents, parents, and children can be sent to prison camps. This policy is designed to eliminate the seed of enemies of the state and serves as an extreme deterrent against dissent. Let's lighten the mood slightly. Blue jeans are seen as a symbol of American imperialism, so wearing them is forbidden. If you're a tourist, you'll be advised to leave your denim at home. Black trousers are generally the acceptable alternative. It's a strict dress code that extends far beyond just hairstyles. What about technology? North Korea has its own intranet called Kwangmyong, which means bright star. It's a walled garden, state-controlled network. Most citizens don't have access to the global internet we use. Kwangmyong features a browser, email, and a few dozen websites, all heavily censored and monitored by the government. It's like a tiny, isolated version of the web, completely cut off from the outside world. They even have their own operating system called Red Star OS. Early versions looked a lot like Windows, but newer versions bear a striking resemblance to Apple's Mac OS. It's filled with surveillance features, including a watermarking system that tracks every file on a user's computer. This allows the government to trace the distribution of any media, ensuring total control over information. Here's a peculiar one. According to state propaganda, the former leader, Kim Jong-il, was a near-mythical figure. Official reports claimed he learned to walk at just 3 weeks old and was talking at 8 weeks. His official biography also stated that he wrote 1,500 books during his university years and penned 6 operas, all of which are supposedly better than any in the history of music. And his legendary status doesn't end there. It was famously reported in state media that the first time he ever played golf, he shot an incredible 38 under-par round, which included 11 holes in one. His 17 bodyguards all verified this supposedly historic feat. It's a clear example of the cult of personality that surrounds the ruling family. Let's talk about the capital city, Pyongyang. It's designed to be a showcase for the nation. Only the most loyal and elite citizens are allowed to live there. It has wide boulevards, monumental architecture, and a metro system that's one of the deepest in the world, doubling as a nuclear bunker. However, the gleaming facade of Pyongyang is a stark contrast to the rest of the country. What about entertainment? North Korea has its own film industry. The late leader Kim Jong-il was a huge movie buff and even wrote a book on cinema. He famously orchestrated the kidnapping of a South Korean film director and his actress wife in 1978, forcing them to make films for the North Korean state, including a bizarre communist-themed monster movie. Every home and business in North Korea is required to have a government-controlled radio that can never be turned off. It can only be turned down. This device continuously broadcasts state propaganda, ensuring the government's message is always present in people's lives, whether they're actively listening or not. Despite the intense isolation, there's a small but growing number of people who own cell phones. The network, however, is strictly domestic. You can't make international calls. This limited access is another way the government maintains its information blockade while giving the appearance of modernity. Finally, a fact that shows a glimmer of a different reality. There are designated special economic zones, like the one in Rason, where foreign businesses are allowed to operate with more freedom. These zones are experimental areas where a limited form of market economy is permitted, attracting some investment, primarily from China and Russia. It's a small crack in the country's centrally planned system. From unique basketball rules to a state-controlled internet, North Korea is a land of incredible contrasts and control. Learning about it helps us better understand our complex world. What fact surprised you the most? Let me know down in the comments. Thanks for watching, and if you found this journey as fascinating as I did, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the world's most interesting places. See you next time.